Today we will talk about such a simple and very tasty dish, Choban shorbasy. What means? It means the dish that the shepherds prepared. This means somewhere they are in the mountains or in the steppe. It means fast, easy and simple, but very tasty and satisfying. And when we say Sherpa, we just say Sherpa and do not think about the origin. In fact, this dish is cooked all over the world, and, in any case, here, in Eurasia, everyone calls it the same. We are preparing Sherpa. Turks prepare this dish, cultures and peoples prepare this dish. Word of Arabic origin. What does Choban mean? That it is somewhere in the forest, somewhere in the mountains, that is, not at home. Therefore, this dish is like that. It is prepared quickly, but very tasty and satisfying, a hot dish. Here in this place we will cut. Here's a piece of lamb fat. That's what kind of meat we have. Of course, we took a lot today. We don't need so much. I'll take it home later. But we need a piece. We'll cut out this part. Let's leave this fat place. We need a little bit. This will be enough here. See how handsome. We need small pieces. If we want to cook something tasty and beautiful, well, at home with friends gathered. Yes, you can play it, delete everything. But our task today, or rather, my task is to show you how simple it really is. Those who are next to me today will see how delicious it is. I am sure that many, who will watch it, will say yes, I know how to cook it. My mother cooked it. I know how to cook it. In the past, this dish was often cooked at home. Well, in any case, our father at home, when he came home from work hungry, cold at work, this is the Soviet Union, everyone worked, it was impossible not to work. And he quickly cooked this dish. The products were always at home. Or you can buy at the market. All this turned out very tasty and beautiful. So I removed the meat. We don't need it. What's left is what we need. That's it. Now just cut it into small pieces. Squares as you like, but they don't have to be big because it's still frying. And this piece along with bread too, by the way, now we need to crumble it in advance. Usually my father always cooked at home and used crackers. And crackers should be dried in the sun, preferably outside. And then, look, here I specially took such a dish. This is sun. Why do we have such dishes and with a lid? But so that now we would have some kind of modern cup. Yes, we would put the meat there, and then the flies are waiting around the corner, when you will cut this meat now, and we will go. We will have a holiday today. But no, and we have a lid. That is, it was as if everything was formed not in one day. If the dishes, then with the lid and of course, and here is the mutton fat, the most interesting begins. Here again, I want to note again that it does not have to be fresh. Often the fat was preserved before. That is, they melted the butter, then poured all this into some dishes in a jar. For example,
и на сковороду или в кастрюле. Это, причем использовали это не только для этой еды, да, чубанаша, шорбаса, а для любой, где нужно масло. Просто доставали этот сызых, он же был, эти кусочки сызыха, они прямо были в застывшем масле, этом бараньем. Ну, потом еще добавляли, если это какой-то суп.
It is good to cook outdoors, fresh air. That is, we cut it. Now we will cook it all. Everything is there. And finally, we covered everything. Look how convenient it is. We need garlic. Here's garlic. That's how much garlic I have here. Garlic will get into the dish, then at the very end. But we have already prepared it in advance, if we are already sitting at the table. I really love garlic. This is health. Garlic and onions are medicine. We will prepare it in advance and let it wait in the wings. So I'll put it aside. We do not need this. We will chop it up a little so that it gives off its taste better. To do this, we have another son, a small one with such a lid, which opens very conveniently. We add this here. We will need it later at the end. We still have kefir, also for lovers. Bread, we must definitely crumble. That is, it even dries a little, the whole point of this dish. Here in this smell of bread that is dried in the sun, in the wind, the Crimean air is necessarily the main ingredient of our dish. This is the Crimean air. If anyone didn't know, we crush it. Well, in general, for good, the bread should be dried in advance. So, we have bread, we have onions, we chop the onion. It is not necessarily something like that, very finely or something else. A knife when it is very sharp is also bad. Therefore, it is not necessary to sharpen the knife much, because when a sharp knife is good, but when it is very sharp, it cuts fingers very easily. If it's someone's okay, it's already their fingers. Everything is ready for us. The bread is drying, which means meat, fat, garlic, everything is ready. Our task now is not to forget anything. This is an exact copy of an old item. I saw it, photographed it, and made it. And it is with this tool that we will work today. But we'll need it later. In the meantime, we must kindle a fire, for which I have already prepared everything in advance.
Еще были такие сковородки, которые назывались саджин. И отец мой, который из Ворона родом, он называл это саджинаях. Не учаях, а саджинаях.
Previously, only some 100 years ago, even less, people did not know electricity. Well, mostly in the villages, they didn't know gas and everything was cooked on fire. This is what we are used to today. If today's youth is no longer the same, they cannot kindle a fire, they cook at home, on the stove. Fire burns. Pour a little water to see how it will happen with us. The heating process will go through. Business is going on. First you need to put fat so that it starts to melt. Now it will heat up. Begin to melt before our eyes.
Сейчас он нагреется, начнет таять на наших глазах.
Previously, boots were smeared with greasy hands. Well, since we have jeans and sneakers today, we will simply wipe it with a white napkin. So it went that we have firewood. We need to throw firewood. Firewood should be of such fruit species. It is desirable because pine gives a lot of smoke. There is a lot of resin in this tree and everything will be smoked. And we just need heat, just heat.
Вы знаете, что слово очаг – это сложное слово от двух слов. От джах. От – это и трава, и дрова, переводится. От джах, то есть зажги дрова, то есть огонь, костер. Так, ага, начинает нагреваться. О!
The process has started. Now we'll fry it. Throw salt on the onion here and practically everything is ready for us. We have water, which means that our crackers are drying. If an ant crawls or someone else, that's fine. Let them crawl. This is how it should be. I want coffee. I should have brought it with me. Yes, everything is fine. This is very good wood. They don't light up right away, but if they then start to give off heat, well, to regulate the temperature. We have such small branches that give heat faster. The process is underway. The only thing missing is a cup of coffee. Great. We place a little. Here it is now neatly, beautifully fried.
И когда все масло у нас выплавится, выжарится, как это все масло выжарится, некрасивое слово, да? Да.
Everything. Now there are still 10 minutes. In short, we threw in 10, 15 minutes, a maximum of 20 will be ready. And we will have a lot of fat, in which we throw onions and it starts to fry, blush and you're done. So a little salt, before you forget. We have such beautiful dishes here. Thanks to Eldar Husinov, today we can use such authentic dishes. Ceramics. When I was cooking at home in our yard, and we were just talking in our museum and my friends were sitting, well, I said what Choban shorbasy is and started cooking. They marveled at the ease of preparation. And one of them happened to be a historian. And he says, look, this is how it works. This is a unique dish, the perfect dish for hiking. The inhabitants of the steppe, somewhere in the steppe they stop, they have a supply of crackers with them. And crackers, this is a kind of preservation of the product. It doesn't deteriorate afterwards. We are now dealing with conservation. To save this fat, we can't just take a refrigerator. Refrigerators.
Один раз в музей пришла к нам одна хартанашка и говорит, а вы знаете что, ну это было на родном языке, в детстве она помнит, как она, уходя в школу, висел такой, она говорит, из бараньего желудка делали вот этот мешок, очищали этот бараний желудок и наливали вот это все туда. И оно застывало с кусочками мяса, все.
Grandmother said, before school, mother simply cut a piece of fat and fried eggs on it. And she says the whole day then did not want to eat. Here are such unique things. Interesting. Look, we already have almost all the fat out of these blanks, but it should also dry out right. Let's add water. Next, add salt to it. And with this broth we will pour our crackers, which are cooked in the sun, our bread. It is now drying with us. This is the main condition. Rusks should be listened to in the sun, in the wind. If we do not do this, then we will not feel that unique taste. Another 3 minutes and we throw onions there, onions so that it starts to fry. The most it. I almost forgot. We still have meat. I almost forgot. I usually do it without meat. And today I got carried away. We decided with meat, so it's time to throw meat there, see what happens. But only carefully, we observe safety precautions. The meat should be fried beautifully. Super. Wow, what's going on? It's not far. Several enterprises around here have stopped their work. People slowly come here to us, for the smell, for the smell. When it gets in the way of frying the meat, and it seems that the shepherds were doing just that, and I already dream of becoming a shaman. So I cut the onion a little bit, so I won't add it here. It should not burn with us, so we need to stir. He's fried right now. We add water, check the salt, and that's it. We have the dish ready, everything. We have everything ready. The onion was fried. Now usually it was already ready when the father did at home. Water, boiling water, he poured separately. That is, we have a plate, crackers. It is poured on top of crackers, spreads beautifully. It all turns out very nice. And he just poured water on top. Then salt, pepper, kaffir is already there, whatever you like. But since we are here in the steppe today, we will not boil water separately. And I thought that we would just pour water. In the end, we will have the same thing, a little bit. Maybe it was right. Maybe my father made it simpler, or maybe it was right. To boil water well, I think so. Most likely they did. This is all. Everything works out for us. Here is such a soup or shorba. That's it. If you sing once, then this will be enough for the whole day, and then in the evening, maybe remember about food, and then in the evening you remember so you can't eat after 6. Today in the modern world we don't eat after 6, and everything turns out once a day. You eat very satisfying and beautiful. Note to the girls, no one will get better. Then immediately began to boil. Interestingly, this form of a cauldron, it allows you to cook both a lot and a little in this one dish. Because the lower the diameter decreases, the higher, the larger the diameter. So the main dish is ready. Now the main thing is to show it beautifully, to form it. Our bread is already ready. Putting on a little. Well, it depends on the build of the comrade to whom we are doing this. Let's take this traditional Crimean Tatar item. The item that I started yesterday. Don't brag. I love to brag. See how beautiful. First, we take the meat, put it beautifully. Fat, fat, fat went. And now pour some water on top. You just have no idea how delicious it is at all. It remains to sprinkle black pepper on top. Black pepper on top. And in general, we also have kaffir there. Garlic, we are already ready here. Pour everything. From above. That's how beautiful he is in movement. So that the southern coastal people, a native of the southern Crimean mountains, feel comfortable in the steppe. I had to climb the fence to somehow be a little bit higher. By the way, why was there such a place in the Crimean steppes? No, well, I don't know how to say it right. We especially protect this place, where all the time all the ashes were poured and loved somewhere by travelers. It is written, they love to sit at sunset, smoking a pipe. The inhabitants of this village, so I climbed to a little higher.
It was very hard to breathe. They didn't open the windows at first. The train moved 3 to 4 hours later, and until we got to Melitopol, the windows were closed. And when we got to Melitopol, they opened them. Then we continued our journey with the windows open. Those who were very sick were lifted up windows so they could breathe. That's how they lift them up so that those who felt bad could get some air, breathe in.
We have a huge store of knowledge, and we must open this box, where there is so much wealth, and show it to everyone. Show it to everyone. Also try to do it and do it yourself. And try it, and enjoy it, and show and tell people. First we eat bread. A combination, fat, kefir, garlic, bread, a unique combination. Bon appetit.